Mimosa tree, sometimes called silk tree, Albizia, or more importantly for this video, tree of happiness, is an extremely popular wild medicinal tree, and for some people can cause a distinct burning sensation in the mouth and the throat, me included. But practically nobody will ever give you this vital precaution. Why is that? In this video, I'm going to tell you why I think this is happening, plus discuss a hugely important lesson that you need to take away with you that applies not just to mimosa tree, but many other wild herbs as well, especially if you're learning about them from the internet. In addition, I'll discuss a potential workaround for this herb if you get an irritating reaction like I do. In 2018, my friends and I learned about this tree of happiness, and we were like, well, heck yeah, we're definitely going to try that out. So we went out and found some, which was very easily. We harvested the bark and made a decoction, and then eagerly gulped it down. That's when the problem arose. There was a group of 4 of us, and when we drank it, 2 out of the 4, including me, experienced a relatively immediate and distinct irritation in the mouth and the throat. We were a bit alarmed by this, but after about a half an hour, it seemed like it had died down and we were still fine. The other 2, they said maybe experienced mild irritation, so we were all trying to figure out what was going on, and then we, the 2 that reacted, we had a little bit more again, and one more time, immediate acrid sensation. So I tried to look this up, thinking that we must have missed this precaution, we must have missed this being mentioned, but everywhere that I searched, I couldn't find any mentions of it anywhere. I did eventually find one, but I wasn't able to find it in any article written in English. More on that a little bit later. So I started to do more tests and experiments. I tried making infusions with the dried bark, with the fresh bark, with the dried flowers, with the fresh flowers. I tried to filter it. I even tried to make a honey infusion with the blossoms, and every single one of those preparations caused the same irritation for me. So then I wondered, well, is this just some strange allergy just for me? Hold on. I'm going to show you what happens on camera. I've got some of the tea right here, been cooling down. Okay, here we go. I know that you can't exactly see what's happening, but just bear with me. Okay, so now it's still going on. It took about maybe 5 seconds or so to develop. And now, yeah, my whole mouth filled with irritation. Pretty uncomfortable. I don't like the feeling of it at all. And so I was thinking, am I just allergic to it? But because at least one other friend reacted like me, I knew there was something else going on here, so I kept on exploring further. I tested this with other people as well, and so far about 40 to 50% of the people have reacted in the same way that I do, but with more testing, maybe this will come up to be more or less. I can't say for certain right now, I just don't have a large enough data set yet. I want to be clear that I'm not saying that you shouldn't use Albizia. If you consume it already without issue, then it's probably completely fine. But I do think it is quite dangerous for people to say that there are absolutely no concerns with taking Albizia, especially because of the nature of the uses of this plant. It creates a situation where even if someone is experiencing some distress, they may try to power through because they're seeking out a particular kind of herbal action. I mean, that's exactly what happened to me and my friend. But I think this is also a good time to mention that people who are pregnant or planning on being pregnant should avoid consuming mimosa as well. And there is some toxicity associated with the seeds of mimosa, but I need to research that a little bit further. This feels really weird for me to be on this side of the fence. I mean, I'm usually the one who is debunking all of these wild species toxicity myths with things like pokeweed or wild lettuce or wood sorrel, but nobody is talking about this, and I just feel like I really have to. Someone needs to. And I want you to understand why this is, or at least why I think that this is happening, that people are promoting this herb left and right with barely any precautions about it all the time. I really think that there are several things at play. First is the fact that a lot of what we know with this herb comes from traditional Chinese medicine. Not only is there a language barrier in that case that's, harder to cross if it were something like Spanish or Italian that we're translating, but also a lot of the principles of TCM, they don't exactly translate one-to-one with concepts that we have in Western herbalism or medicine. In fact, only when I switched to using what's commonly called Chinese Google, and I looked up Albizia in Chinese, and then I was finally able to find precautions to the side effects that I and other people were experiencing. I don't know how much I can fully trust these sources in general, but given that I am actually experiencing this, there was at least some thread of truth to what they were reporting. Second is the fact that the side effects appear to be highly variable between different people. That makes it a lot more difficult to track. And third, here's the big one. This is a problem that I really, really want you to be more aware of. I call it copy and paste herbalism. And before I get into this more, I just want to say that at the beginning of my journey of foraging, I have been just as guilty of this as anybody else. Here's what happens. A lot of people, when they're starting out with social media or a blog or things like that, they are eager to promote and spread information essentially as they are learning them without really adding much because, they're excited about it. And this can result in common information, right or wrong, being regurgitated over and over and over again. This in turn creates the perception that an idea or a concept has far greater consensus than it actually does in reality. We should always remember that posting information on the internet requires no credibility, no experience whatsoever. Proper scrutiny is up to you and me. Mimosa Tree in particular further exacerbates this problem because it is so popular and deals with a widely applicable condition of feeling down or sad. So it garners a lot of attention and a lot of clicks. This will lead people to perhaps stretch a little bit to promote or teach something that they aren't fully familiar with because they want a piece of that pie. And listen, I'm not going to pretend like I don't make videos to target topics like this too, but my promise to you is that I will always do extensive research and very often self-experimentation before I report these things to all of you. And by the way, I'm launching a new channel that is dedicated to topics like these, herbal deep dives specifically. So check the link in the description if you want to be notified about that when it goes live. What's important for you to do is to recognize these kinds of popular topics and exercise even more critical analysis, even if it's me telling you about it. So if you are trying mimosa for the first time, please try a little bit first before going full bore with it. And let me know what your experience is as well in the comments section. Include how you prepared it and consumed it too. I think having more data on this is going to help a lot of people and build a clearer picture for all of us. So if you do have negative reactions to consuming it, there is one thing that, at least for me, has not caused this reaction, at least not nearly to the same extent. This one thing was actually a tincture of the bark. The ones that I tried were with 100 proof alcohol. I've both bought commercial ones and then I've also made my own. And you know what, now that I'm saying that and thinking about it a little bit more, this may be another reason why it's not quite as well known, because modern herbalism is very, very tincture centric these days, rather than using more traditional things like infusions or decoctions. Now, personally, I don't really take this stuff a whole lot because I have such a negative reaction to drinking the tea. I'm not so sure that consuming large amounts of the plants is good for me. I don't think that we fully know what's going on here. So, caution is really advised and should be exercised here. And again, none of this is medical advice. This is just for educational purposes only. But if you're interested in learning about medicinal trees in general, maybe one that actually might help to soothe irritation in the mouth and throat, then you should watch this video right here, because I would like to introduce you to 5 other amazing medicinal trees that I really think you should know about. My name is Jesse, this was Foraging, and I hope to see you there.